Hello and welcome to Post Perspective TV. As you can see, we're in my home office today, clearly not on the floor in Las Vegas, but we're still rolling along as if we were there, and very happy to have Larry O'Connor with us today from OWC. Welcome, Larry.
How you doing? Glad to be here.
Here, there, wherever we might be at this point. So let's dive into what's been happening at OWC, because even though there's been a pandemic raging, you guys have been moving forward, busy, and in fact, earlier this year acquired LumaForge and their Jellyfish storage system. Do you want to talk to people a little bit about why that was important to you and where that fits into your plans?
Sure. I mean, OWC has been a big player in storage for literally decades now. The Jellyfish solution aligns really nicely with our own Jupyter technology that's been out there being deployed for the last 7 years. Jellyfish has incredible capabilities in terms of user interface. It's streamlined for video workflows. I mean, it's amazing for production environments. And you put that together with some of the development we've had going on our Jupyter. I mean, it's really a match made in heaven. But in terms of what LumaForge has done over the last 5 years, incredibly impressive and hugely complementary to what we already had, and enables us to really step it up and take everything, including what LumaForge has been building, to a brand new level.
Great. And I know to time with NAB season, you just released LumaForge 2.0. Can you talk about what new features and benefits might be there, but also how it's targeted to the post community?
Sure. I mean, Jellyfish from day one, I mean, has been the plug and play solution for work groups. So you can allow multiple users to collaborate and edit on video projects at the same time, and with unparalleled performance to all those, like I say, editors and producers. The 2.0 interface, just takes the ease of use a few steps further. It takes there's always little software updates. We support a lot of third-party applications that come in through Jellyfish and support a post-production. The Jellyfish Manager enables automatic updates. It gives brand new information display in terms of processor load and data load, and what users are doing. The bottom line, it makes it easier to collaborate, makes it easier to know what's going on with the system. And it also adds built-in integrations for things like AWS and Frame.io, so that it's even easier now to click and go when it comes to using outside solutions that interface in that post-production workflow. That's a lot of words and a lot of everything, but the real simple bit to say about Jellyfish 2.0, the Jellyfish Manager 2.0, it makes every Jellyfish even better. So everything people have loved about Jellyfish from day one, and this sounds cliche, but 2.0 just steps it up another level. And the best thing is 2.0 is free for all active Jellyfish users.
Right. And more product news. You also have U.2 that you've released this season.
Yeah, we believe that the U.2 form factor for NVMe solid state drives is absolutely the future, as opposed to the NVMe M.2 blades, which are really designed for internal use. The U.2 form factor is really durable, really robust. It's a great solution for transporting data, for easily swapping and moving data around. People, way back, people on ingest, people in production are accustomed to moving hard drives around. You get the same capability with a U.2 form factor SSD without the fragility that otherwise exists with the M.2 blades. And on the OWC side, we've really built an entire product line, really an ecosystem to support U.2 form factor products. And that's all the way, including native U.2 drives, as well as enclosures, both single and 4-blade enclosures that let you take your existing M.2 drives, because M.2 2280s are extremely available. They're being used very widely. So we have provided products that allow you to take those M.2s, put them into an enclosure, either again a single, or even put up to 4 blades in a single U.2 form factor solution. And then whether it's again one of our shuttles with M.2s inside of it, or a native U.2 drive, you can plug this into a server. You can plug this into our Flex 8. you can plug these units into our Helios and interchange. And we already have customers using Helios Thunderbolt chassis on set, and then Flex 8s, back at the production office to transport data. They ingest to a local unit, they take that U.2 with them or ship it back to the production HQ, plug it into the Flex 8 and go. So U.2 is a standard that's been around for a bit. I mean, it really is the future in terms of how NVMe will be interfaced with computers, and we're really happy to be. And this was driven by people in ingest in production asking for U.2 support. So we didn't just do it halfway. I mean, we've got a whole ecosystem now around it to make it very easy, flexible, and straightforward to interconnect these and how to say interchange these devices.
Fantastic. So do you, how closely do you work with your users and your customers? Obviously very closely, but I mean, how do you communicate them when you're looking to figure out your next steps?
We love shows like NAB, and as we've loved shows like Macworld and CS in the past, and we also go on set, go out and actually work with different customers in the in actual live production environments to get their feedback, to get a firsthand understanding, a real world understanding of what their needs are. And if you look at OWC over its 3 decades plus of existence, we've always been very customer focused and customer driven. We're not trying to come out and say, this is going to be the next best thing, you need to move to it. We've always, looked to our customers, including our internal customers ourselves. I mean, we've a lot of things we're happy to do because we want something better too. But and that's kind of how Jellyfish, by the way, got going. But to your point, or to I guess my point here, it's a customer driven feedback loop. What's the problem? What is the right solution so that things can be more efficient, be better, more reliable, effectively, bring this technology to a point where the technology part is the boring part, because you plug it in and it's working, and you're working on the real work. You're not worrying, you're not spending time maintaining that technology. You're spending time on the creative process, and it's all about what our customers are asking for. And we may not give them exactly what they think that they were asking for, but the feedback allows us to go, hey, this is going to be the right solution. And that's ultimately we give them what they want, and that's that's why we're here. I really, and again, these are from early experiences. I can go through all sorts of different early experiences in business, but it always bothered me how every year there was this new standard or this new widget, whatever it was going to change everybody's world. But oh yeah, you got to throw everything else you already had, you got to throw away and go with this, and every year it was something new. Now it's still about every other year there's something new. But the reality is, lots of people have really awesome workflows, and it doesn't take a lot to continue to either evolve those workflows or make huge night and day changes, improvements to those workflows that continue making the best of what they have, and answer give answer to the questions, the solutions, the problems that they're being faced with.
Very smart. So many people work in a bubble, in a silo. They develop what they think people need. And sometimes they get surprised when they go out into the real world, and it's not necessarily what people are looking for. You touched on it yourself there. You founded OWC over 30 years ago. Is that correct?
That would be correct. And 1988 is where OWC has its origin.
It was an outstanding year, 1988.
Quite a year, yes.
And realistically, over the course of those 3+ decades, I don't think any of us have experienced anything like we have over the course of the last 1.5 years, closing in on 2. Supply chain issues, I'm sure you've never faced anything like this. How has OWC been dealing with that?
I'm really grateful for the partnerships that we have with our different providers. I mean, we have a great in-house engineering team that's been very, very dynamic. I'm grateful for the logistics supply chain team that we've got at OWC. I guess OWC is absolutely benefited from being more, I guess on one side you could say conservative, on the other side you could probably say just really we'll be optimistic. But we've always maintained pretty good supplies ahead of builds, kept a lot of things in our own control, whether it be the key components and the different manufacturing pieces and the engineering. But what I'm really trying to get to is that we didn't get hit early, and it gave us more time to adapt and evolve. Any other year, I mean, logistics and supply chain is always, I mean, it is what it is. This year, I mean, it really has put our team to the test, and I have to say they've, in a lot of ways worked miracles. Again, grateful for the partnerships we have, grateful for the team that we have, and with a few exceptions, we've been able to maintain really strong supply of all our popular hardware. Most impacted have been some of our newer products, mainly because we couldn't have advanced inventory of key chipsets ahead of actually having those products approved and finalized. And a lot of that happened towards the end of last year. And it was really crazy to see lead times, go from 12 weeks, 16 weeks, some might have been 28 weeks. And all of a sudden now we're seeing, these products, these chipsets, jump up to 40, 50, 80 weeks. So we've been able to buffer where we can. We always kind of have a hedge inventory that helps us allocate. Some of the stuff is worst case. Some of the partners we've been able to pull some of those longer leads in, but things for the most part have been under control. The most challenging part is probably now on the shipping side, which is another area that's just gone haywire. And I'm sure heard from other folks, but I never thought I would have seen where it used to be pretty much dock to dock in 3 to 4 weeks. Now containers can be 3 months dock to dock, just because of delays between every piece of the every part of the equation going from there to here. Air is through the roof in terms of cost. Sea is more than air was a couple of years ago. It's insanely ridiculous. And some people looking, I mean, we're doing everything we can to keep that. Probably 20 years ago, learned that, customers really don't care, what's happening behind the scenes. It's really, what's being communicated to them. If we try to do as much as we can to communicate, honestly and accurately, so that these delays, if there is a delay in a product, it's absolutely broadcast, before, at the very first instance, the customer is aware and interacts. And doing so, if we are able to pull it in better, great. Because the last thing a customer wants to hear is, yeah, we're supposed to be here next week, but it's going to be here in 2 months, and we're sorry because of this and this and this. That's for us to manage. And again, I'm really grateful for the team we have that's been able to, certainly by and large, keep everything up to date, keep things flowing, and most importantly, whether there's good news or bad news, be really ahead of the curve in terms of what we communicate to our customer. Certainty is always better than uncertainty, even if it's not the certainty that you want to hear.
It's very true. It's very true. Well, let's leave those supply chain issues behind for a moment, and wrap up by looking forward, looking to the future. Do you have any plans coming up for OWC that you can share with us, or thoughts on your road forward?
Well, sure. In general, we're really excited with everything we're doing in the area of software. Software has been a huge piece of our product line for really the last decade, but it's been probably the unsung hero as well. Software Aid is the absolute best software RAID solution for Mac, and now it's the best solution for Windows in production. And on top of everything else, Software Aid, in addition to what it does now, which is provide the only interoperable RAID between a Mac and a PC. You can take a software environment from a Mac, plug into a PC, and vice versa, which is really great for mixed environments in terms of PC and Mac, Windows and Mac. But cloud services are coming, encryption, cloud services, and other tie-ins are coming into Software Aid that will even further enhance what you can do with that data storage suite. It provides reliability, it provides good drive health monitoring. Actually, in some cases, the only health monitoring that is actually doing something on a system. And now the cloud capabilities that are coming along with it, will really elevate. Jellyfish, of course, is already there, and there's another huge cloud component under development in the Jellyfish space. We have Argest and Brew, which provides an incredible amount of access for archive. Brew is the only application today that works with everything from the latest LTL and LTFS to Worm and older formats to go back over 30 years. People in production have used a variety of formats over the decades. We're really excited to have acquired and continue to maintain the Brew platform so that there's certainty in terms of the access and the support for well, maintaining that media and having access to that media on top of everything else. Whether you're an LTO or something else today, there's nothing better than RGest when it comes to managing tape backup. So a couple of the little pieces. Oh, and copy that. Copy that is, right now we have it out as a mobile application, but copy that is a super powerful tool that's already being great. It's already fantastic on mobile. What's coming to desktop will elevate it to, I'd say, really into the production management space for ingest, for media management, and again, for sharing and accessibility, and most importantly, secure copying, duplication, and checksumming of that data, where a lost frame is, that can be the frame that ruins everything. We know you can't reshoot stuff, and everything that we do, hardware, software, you name it, is designed to ensure that your data, your creativity, forget the data. I mean, it's really your creative effort, your creative capture is safe and sound and there for you from, again, an A to Z on this journey. And going back to the LumaForge acquisition, we really have, and you look at the LTO, look at RGest, we've certainly over the last decade built an A to Z platform when it comes to the direct attach to the shared storage and the software platforms, pretty much everything else in between that allows a video production team to do everything they need to do. And again, keep that technology boring, because it's all part of a family that interconnects, operates reliably, and lets them put their energy to really what all this stuff is supposed to be for.
Because it all does come back around to the creativity at the end of the day. Everything is in support of that.
Yeah, we're not here to force people to have creative solutions that jury-rig hardware. We're here to give them products and solutions that interconnect and work flawlessly, so that all the creativity goes towards again what they're actually putting this all together for.
Well, exciting times ahead for OWC. We'll look forward to, I'm just going to say, looking forward to April, hearing where you are on the path of the things you just talked about, and looking forward to hopefully meeting you in person, because today was our first virtual meeting.
Well, likewise. It's, there's nothing beats, seeing people in person and interacting. And we look forward to doing that with customers, media, yourself. Come April next year. Also looking forward to what I do believe. I mean, I thought this a few months ago. I thought it couldn't get any worse in supply chain in terms of logistics and everything. It obviously continued to, but there are signs that things are going to get better. And I really believe 2022 will, I would say, bring a lot of benefits there as well. So hopefully things, some normalization will resume, but regardless, really looking forward to what I'm sure will be a great event next April.
Looking forward to it. We'll just keep fingers crossed that your words come to pass. And thank you so much for joining us today, Larry. Really appreciate it. And thanks all of you for watching. We're saying goodbye right now for Post Perspective TV. Bye-bye.